I tried telling the sheriff everything, every damn detail I could remember, but he looked at me like I was crazy. You sure you didn't hit your head out there? Bro really said that while I was lying in the hospital bed with a missing hand and a hole in my side the size of a coffee mug. I didn't shoot myself, I snapped. He just raised an eyebrow and muttered something about sending deputies to check it out. They never found anything. No house. No trail. Not even a tire mark. Like the whole place just disappeared. The worst part? The docs cleared me a week later and no one, not even my cousin, believed what I said. They thought maybe I crashed, got hurt, and hallucinated the rest. But I know what I saw. And something changed in me after that. I started seeing things. Hearing things. Like, one time I was at a grocery store standing in line behind this woman with a kid. Cute little girl, probably 5 or 6. And as soon as she turned around, my chest got tight. The kid had the same dead stare. Same expression as her, the girl from the house. I blinked and poof, gone. Just a normal kid again. But I swear for that 1 second, she looked straight into my soul. And it keeps happening. I see faces in the trees when I drive at night. I hear whispers in the static when I flip through radio stations. One time I caught a glimpse of something in my rearview mirror, just standing in the road. When I turned around, nothing. But the GPS rerouted itself without warning and tried to take me back into the forest. I threw my phone out the damn window. It's like they marked me, branded me as someone who knows too much. I started doing research. Deep web forums, missing persons databases, Reddit threads you probably shouldn't read at 2 a.m. And you know what I found? I'm not the only one. Other people have talked about similar places. Rural homes with no names, families that show up like ghosts, always smiling until you try to leave. One guy said he saw his brother in the woods 3 weeks after the funeral. Another woman claimed she was invited inside a cabin that shouldn't exist, and when she came out, years had passed. Me, I just took a wrong turn. I didn't break in. I didn't steal anything. But they still came after me like I was some kind of threat to their twisted little world. And here's the part that keeps me up at night. I still don't know why they let me live. I shouldn't have made it out of there. Not with the blood loss. Not with the injuries. Not with that little psycho grinning while holding a blade twice her size. It felt like they wanted me to tell the story. Like they wanted someone to warn the others. So here I am. If you're watching this, if your GPS ever tells you to turn onto some old dirt road that ain't even labeled, don't. Don't get curious. Don't stop to ask for directions. Don't wave at the quiet man with the beard or make eye contact with the kid holding the knife. Because they ain't human. And they're still out there. Somewhere in those woods. Waiting. I told myself I wasn't going back. After what happened, losing my hand, nearly bleeding out, being hunted by that freak show of a family, I swore I'd never set foot near those woods again. But the dreams wouldn't stop. Every night it's the same loop. I'm crawling through the dirt, blood pouring out of my side, headlights flickering behind me. And she's there, the little girl, just standing in the trees, watching. No matter how far I run, I always wake up when she reaches for me. So yeah, I caved, bought a dashcam, grabbed a GoPro, rented a beat-up Jeep, and 2 weeks ago I went back. Didn't tell anyone. Just left a note with the hospital records, the police report, and a USB drive full of what I remembered. If I didn't come back, I wanted people to know this place was real. It took hours, but I finally found the road. Same busted trail. Same eerie quiet. Except this time, something was different. There were no birds, no bugs, no sound. And the forest? It looked fake. Like a movie set that someone forgot to finish. The dirt road stretched forever. Trees lined up too perfectly. Shadows didn't move when they should have. It was like driving into a painting. Still, I kept going. My gut told me I was close. Then my camera died. Not went black. Died. Fully charged, and it just shut off like someone pulled the battery. Same with the GoPro. Same with my phone. And that's when I saw it. The house. but not how I remembered. It looked newer, cleaner, like someone had renovated it just for me. Curtains in the windows, a car in the driveway, and on the porch, a welcome mat. Red. "Glad you made it back, Jacob." I froze. My stomach dropped. I never gave them my name. Suddenly, the front door creaked open. And guess who stepped out? The dad. Same long beard. Same dead eyes. He smiled this time. That's what really freaked me out. He smiled like I was some long-lost friend finally coming home. "I knew you'd return," he said. Then the woman appeared behind him. And the girl? She was holding something. At first, I thought it was a doll, until it twitched. I ran. Didn't think. Didn't breathe. I just sprinted straight into the woods. Branches slapped me, thorns cut across my arms, but I didn't stop. And here's the craziest part. The trees moved. I swear to you, they shifted like the forest was changing around me. Every path I took curved back toward the house. No matter what direction I ran, I'd end up right in front of the damn porch. Time didn't feel real in there. At some point, I collapsed. Exhausted. Heart pounding. Could barely move. That's when the girl showed up. She didn't speak. Just stood beside me. Then, she knelt down, leaned in close, and whispered, "You were the only one who made it out. That means you're ours now." I blacked out. Woke up hours later, somehow back in the Jeep. Engine running. Dashcam fried. My entire arm numb like it had been frozen. I looked at my side mirror, and there she was. Just standing on the edge of the trees, grinning. I hit the gas so hard I nearly flipped the Jeep. Didn't stop driving until I hit the state border. Now I'm back home. I barely sleep. I keep my lights on all night. But last night I found something tucked into my mailbox. A photo of me, passed out in the forest, surrounded by the whole family. The woman holding my wrist like she was taking my pulse. The dad standing behind her like some proud doctor. And the girl? She was holding my GoPro, smiling. I didn't record anything, but they did. And whatever they're planning, they know where I live now. I thought I'd left them behind. That forest, that freaky little girl, that family that shouldn't exist. But now they're here. It started small, real subtle. First, I noticed the trees outside my apartment swaying even when the wind wasn't blowing. Then the streetlights on my block started flickering whenever I walked past. At first, I blamed stress, PTSD. Maybe my brain was still scrambled from getting shot and nearly hacked up by a forest cult or whatever the hell they were. But then I found bark in my shower drain. Yeah, you heard that right. Not leaves, not dirt. Actual tree bark, wet, blackened, and smelling like that cursed forest. And that same night, I woke up at 3:17 a.m. to the sound of leaves crunching inside my apartment. Inside, I grabbed a flashlight, heart racing, barely breathing, and crept out of my bedroom like I was clearing a haunted house in a horror movie. The crunching stopped. I checked the kitchen. Empty. Checked the living room. Empty. But when I got to the bathroom, there were muddy footprints on the tiles. Small ones, like a kid had walked straight through the wall and into my home. And on the mirror, written in something brown and flaky, were the words, "We like it here." I called the cops. They showed up, looked around, found nothing. No signs of forced entry. No prints. No evidence. They chalked it up to trauma and told me to get some rest. But I couldn't. Not with what I saw next. When I walked the officers out, I glanced across the street, and there she was, that same little girl, standing perfectly still beneath a flickering street lamp, wearing a dirty dress and holding my GoPro in one hand like a toy. When I blinked, she was gone. That's when I knew this wasn't over. I started recording everything. Set up cameras in my apartment. Kept a journal. Bought motion detectors. And guess what? Nothing showed up on the cameras. But the sounds did. Rustling. Whispering. Laughter. Soft and scratchy like it was coming from inside the walls. One night, I heard the front door creak open even though it was locked. I ran out of my room with a baseball bat, ready to go full Walking Dead on whatever came through. But all I found was a box, wrapped in old newspaper, tied with dead vines. Inside was my severed hand, the one I lost in the forest, preserved, wrapped in plastic, and clenched in its cold, stiff fingers was a key. I don't know what it opens, but I haven't slept since. Now I see them everywhere. The dad, the mom, the kid, at the gas station, at the laundromat, even at the DMV. I swear on everything. They never talk, just watch. Sometimes I see other people around me acting weird too, like the guy in the elevator who kept staring at me and humming an old lullaby, or the old woman who told me, dead serious, "They're already inside you. You should have let them finish." I ran out before she could explain. Last night was the worst. I had a dream, at least I hope it was a dream. I was back in the forest, naked, freezing, standing in front of that damn house again. But this time the family wasn't outside. They were inside me. I looked in the window and saw myself sitting at their dinner table, smiling, eating something raw. And that little girl? She whispered in my ear without even moving her lips, "You were always meant to be part of us." I woke up screaming, nose bleeding, and written on my ceiling, scratched into the plaster, were 5 words. "The forest doesn't forget." Now every time I close my eyes, I see those trees, hear their whispers. I think the forest is growing, spreading, through my walls, into my mind, into this world. And I think, I'm not the only one. Because last night, my neighbor knocked on my door looking pale, shaking, and said, "Hey, did you hear the girl laughing in your apartment last night too?" The night my neighbor knocked was the night everything got worse. Dude looked like he hadn't slept in days. Eyes bloodshot, lips cracked, hands trembling like he just crawled out of a nightmare. "You heard her too, right?" he asked. I nodded slow. "You mean the girl?" He swallowed hard. "She was in my closet." That's when I knew it wasn't just me anymore. The forest, it was leaking into other people's lives. We sat in my kitchen with all the lights on, chugging stale coffee, trying to figure out what the hell to do. His name was Marcus. He'd lived next door for 2 years. Never believed in ghosts, didn't even watch horror movies. But now, he'd seen her. The kid with the blank stare. The dress that never moved. The knife dragging behind her like a shadow. I woke up and she was just standing there, he whispered. Didn't blink. Didn't breathe. She pointed at me and then vanished. I told him everything. The wrong turn. The house. The family. The forest that shouldn't exist. The severed hand. The key. By the time I finished, Marcus looked pale. "You still got that key?" I nodded. "Yeah, but I don't know what it opens." Then he said something I wasn't ready for. "I think we need to go back." Now listen, I'm not stupid. I barely made it out the first time. I lost a hand, nearly bled out, and have been haunted ever since. But something inside me knew, if I didn't face this, it'd keep spreading. And now that Marcus was seeing them too, maybe the curse wasn't just tied to me anymore. So we packed a bag, flashlights, road flares, first aid kits. I even brought a flask of holy water. Don't ask me why, I just figured it couldn't hurt. We left at midnight. The drive was quiet, eerie. No music, no talking, just the low hum of tires rolling toward hell. Somewhere past the county line, the GPS glitched. Again. No signal. No maps. Just static on the radio and that familiar old dirt road curling out of the dark like a snake waiting to bite. We pulled in. Same crooked trees. Same crushing silence. But the house? Gone. There was nothing but a clearing now. Open space. A dead fire pit. Burnt grass shaped like footprints. And at the center was a trapdoor. Rusted. With a keyhole. I looked at Marcus. He nodded. My fingers shook as I slid the key into place. Click. The door creaked open. Beneath it was a spiral staircase, wooden, rotting, and going way deeper than made sense. It was like descending into another world. We went down slowly, flashlights barely cutting through the thick dark. The deeper we went, the colder it got. And then the whisper started. Soft at first, like wind, then louder, closer. Familiar voices. You shouldn't have come back. You were always part of us. The forest remembers. Marcus started panicking. They're in my head, man. They're in my damn head. Then we reached the bottom, and we saw them. The whole family, standing in a circle. Dad, Mom, that creepy little girl. But they weren't alive. They were like statues, frozen. Faces twisted in mid-scream. Flesh cracked like old porcelain. In the center of the circle was a mirror, big, antique, covered in moss. And behind the glass was me. But not me now. It was the version of me that stayed in the house. That sat at their dinner table, smiling, calm, happy. He looked straight at me and mouthed, "Stay." That's when the mirror cracked. The ground shook. The whispers turned into screams. The statues began twitching, cracking open, black smoke pouring from their mouths. I grabbed Marcus and we ran, up the stairs, out the trapdoor, through the trees. Branches reached for us. Roots grabbed at our feet. I felt something bite into my leg, but I didn't stop. We burst into the Jeep. Peeled out so hard we left tire marks in the dirt. The forest didn't try to stop us, because it didn't need to. Back home now. Legs infected. Doctors don't know what it is. Marcus. He's not answering his phone. And last night when I looked into my bathroom mirror, my reflection didn't follow me. It stayed smiling, watching, waiting. Ever since we came back from the trapdoor, something's been off. Not just in the I'm still cursed and can't sleep kind of way. I mean, something's really wrong with reality. I started noticing it in the small things first. My reflection lags sometimes. Not like in a funhouse mirror way. Like, I'll blink and it'll keep staring. I'll raise my left hand and it raises the right. Or worse, it smiles when I'm not smiling at all. One night, I threw a towel over the mirror and slept on the couch. But at 3:17 a.m., the same time every nightmare seems to hit, I woke up to the towel on the floor. And the mirror? Fogged up, like someone had been breathing on the other side. There were fingerprints. From the inside. Marcus is still MIA. No calls. No texts. His place looks untouched, but something's off. Like the walls are watching. I went by last night to check again. The door was unlocked. Inside it smelled like pine needles and burnt rope. His laptop was still open, playing some low static hum like a forest field recording on loop. And on the screen was a paused video. It showed Marcus in that underground room, standing in front of the mirror, whispering, "It's better on this side. No pain here. No rules, just the forest." Then he stepped into the mirror, like it was water, and the screen went black. I bolted, got in my car, drove home without blinking. I didn't even lock my front door. I just rushed to the bathroom and ripped the whole mirror off the wall. But guess what? There was still a mirror, beneath the drywall, embedded in the damn wall itself. Smooth glass, flawless edges, and in it, my reflection smiled and whispered, "It's your turn now." I haven't slept in 3 days. I started taping up every reflective surface in my place. TVs, windows, even my damn coffee pot. Every time I catch a glimpse of myself, it's a little less me. Last night I blacked out. I don't remember falling asleep, but I woke up in my bed, fully dressed, with muddy footprints leading from the bathroom. And in my pocket, a slip of paper. Crinkled, Smelled like smoke and moss. It said, "You're already halfway through. Let go." Now, weird things are happening outside too. People on my street are acting strange. The mailman stopped at my box and just stared at my window for 5 solid minutes. Didn't blink. Didn't move. My neighbor's kids started digging a hole in their backyard. When I asked him why, he said, "That's where the forest grows back." And today, I looked at my phone camera while filming myself to prove I'm still real. But on playback, I was smiling the whole time. Even when I wasn't. I don't know how much longer I have. The mirror version of me, it's learning. It moves a little more like me every day. It knows my routines. It knows my fears. And I think it's going to replace me. Not just in the mirror. Out here. If you see me post a video where I'm smiling for no reason, where my eyes don't blink, where I talk about how peaceful the forest is, that's not me. Don't believe it. Don't trust the smile. Because if the forest gets through me, it'll come for you next. I haven't slept in a week. The pills don't work. The lights don't help. And no matter how many times I cover that mirror in the bathroom, it always shows up again. It's like it wants to be seen. Like it's alive. And the thing inside it? He's learning. Not just mimicking me, becoming me. 2 nights ago, I caught him in the reflection of a dark window. I wasn't even near it, just passed by it with my flashlight. But there he was, grinning. Same clothes, same scars, same voice. He mouthed something. "They believe I'm you now." Then his face cracked just for a second, like a mask peeling open, and beneath it was nothing. Pitch black emptiness. A face made of shadows and teeth. I fell backward, hit my head on the kitchen counter. I must have blacked out because when I woke up, the front door was wide open, and there were muddy footprints leading out. Since then, everything's changed. My phone unlocked with a fingerprint I didn't use. Text messages I never sent are on my screen. Stuff like, "I'm fine now. The woods helped me heal. It's over. I'm finally at peace." Even Marcus's number, he texted back. "See you on the other side." I went to the bathroom mirror one last time. Looked myself dead in the eye. Or at least I thought I did. Because the thing in the glass leaned closer, smiled, and said out loud in my voice, "Trade places. You're tired. Let me take over." I should have smashed the mirror right then and there. But I didn't. Because I was tired. So damn tired. That night, I lit a fire in the backyard. Took the mirror down from the wall. I was gonna burn it. And it all. But just as I threw it into the flames, nothing happened. The fire recoiled from the mirror like it was scared. And then the glass cracked. Just once. A hand reached through and pulled me in. I don't know how long I've been here. It's cold. Silent. Smells like wet dirt and pine needles. Like the forest. But older. Deeper. I scream, but no one hears me. I pound against the glass wall separating me from my old life. But he's already taken my place. My reflection, my replacement, walks through my world. Wears my face. Uses my voice. He goes to work. Smiles at people. Uploads videos on my channel. And every now and then, he stares straight into the camera and says, "I'm finally at peace." But look closer. You'll see it. His eyes don't blink. His smile never fades. And if you pause the video at just the right frame, you'll see me, screaming behind the glass, still trapped, still trying to warn you. So next time you catch your reflection moving wrong, don't wave, don't smile. And whatever you do, don't let it out. Because once it replaces you, there's no coming back.